From wherever you are watching and listening from, welcome to another exciting edition of Sister Sister. My name is AJ Akwakosapon, and I'm your host. And from now till the next 60 minutes, we are going to be going through some of the most exciting, most interesting stories from across Ghana, sent in by people like you, basically asking for direction on whatever that's going on in their lives. And I have the most amazing group of women that helped me analyze the issues so perfectly. Now, a very big thank you to our incredible location, LifeMate Furniture, for allowing us come live from there. They're located in the North Industrial Area. If you're looking for great furniture, the only place to come to is LifeMate. Now, of course, a very big thank you as well to Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, and Ghana AIDS Commission's Red Ribbon Campaign, and finally, Kel Kids Toothpaste. They are incredible sponsors and help us bring you Sister Sister each and every week. Now, when I come back, we'll be going through all the interesting stories sent in, as well getting to meet my awesome sisters for today's episode. Stay with us. This is Sister Sister. You're tuned in to Sister Sister right here on Citi TV and live on 97.3 Citi FM. Now, a pleasure to always introduce my incredible sister, starting off with her on my extreme left, the always lovely Felicia. Hi. You look lovely in red today.
Oh,
how are you doing?
You. I'm doing well. How are you too?
I'm great, thank you.
Oh, it's been a while. Oh, it's just...
Yeah, it's been a while, but it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Someone who's enjoying blonde, being and having fun, I would hope. The always lovely Olivia.
Hello.
Yeah, the blonde is really working on, isn't it? Yeah. And it's matching with your top, so it's like you have a thing going on.
I don't play.
Yeah, yes, you do not. And someone who's doing casual chic and making it work really well. Though always lovely, Rosie. What to do?
Felicia took my red.
She did.
Today you're
not the red queen.
She took my red.
Today she's not the red queen.
Fix this.
We must. But you have some red popping
after the show.
Then we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But it's good to have you here.
Great to have myself here.
Yeah,
great to see you all.
Honestly, it's always great energy when you. I make sure that Thursdays and Fridays are my favorite days of the week because I get to spend it with you lot. I know. I'm sweet, so I'm sweet. You just need to experience me. But now let's get into the letter for today, and it's quite an interesting one, a real page turner. Let's get into it. Dear sisters, I am currently at a crossroad, unsure how to proceed with my very difficult situation I find myself in. I've been married for the last 10 years to a wonderful man, and we have 3 young children. My husband is a good man, a good father, kind and generous, but my problem is his family. My husband and I are quite well-to-do, having worked very hard to get to the position that we are in. And my husband has also started a venture which we are both investing in to add to our lucrative jobs, as well as we're currently building a house for our family. However, his family remains a thorn in our flesh. I grew up from a well-to-do home with principal parents who ensure I and my siblings got good quality education, and now me and all my siblings are well-to-do. Yet my parents have never asked me or my siblings for a city and don't even visit regularly, except there's an occasion they need to be there. However, my husband's family are the direct opposite. My husband grew up poor with a mother who struggled to put him and his siblings through school. And even though my husband has fought hard to improve himself, his siblings, on the other hand, did not, and see his success as an extension of theirs. And all they do, rather, is to constantly demand from him. They are constantly at our home asking for one financial help or the other. And the worst part, they squander and misuse it all. When he complains, his mother gets offended at him rather and comes to our home to cry and blame me for trying to turn him away from his siblings. AJ, can you imagine that recently my husband put his brother in charge of our small business on the side, and he ended up misusing the funds and costing us so much. But to my horror, my husband is unable to fire him because his mother came again to cry that he is his brother. And if he is fired, he will have nowhere else to go. So this brother is still in their business making a mess. Sisters, we should be saving towards the future with our money. But our money rather goes to his family, who squander it because they feel they'll get more when they ask or come back. And now my investment is also stuck in it. How do I get the situation to stop without his family seeing me as a witch or worse? Ding, ding, ding. And I think we have a lot of families that are demanding, who see that one successful sibling means all of us are successful. And you are constantly going to be the bank. Me wafa, me bra, anything at all, they come running to you to get funds and literally drain you of all your savings. Now, Felicia, this lady has been placed in this situation where she's unable to get out of. She wants to do right for her family, but her in-laws prevent her from doing so. What she should be doing? How does she fix this without becoming the witch?
This is a very dicey situation, but it needs strategizing. She needs to strategize. I'm curious to understand how big the business the brother is ruining is. If left for me, they should find a way of handing over that business to the family and letting them know that this is your establishment. This is what you have now. This is what you have to deal with, and it should be a source of income for each and every one of you. If they have to put in a legal document to state how much percentage they each get from proceeds from the business, and let the mom, that's the in-law, know that this business is now for the family.
With my investments?
No, AJ, sometimes...
I put my money inside, though.
So
he has put his money inside. It's for our children.
I understand.
Why am I giving it to my in-laws?
I understand you, but here's my principle. Sometimes to put an end to a long-term struggle, you need to make a sacrifice. And in this case, this might be the sacrifice they have to make. And make it clear to them that, brothers and sisters, in-laws, this is what you have. Make sure you earn enough to fend for the family and try and win her husband off supporting her his extended family. It's going to be difficult, but it will take a lot of effort and renewal of mindsets. And I feel immediately she's able to get into her husband's head and get him to understand that this is our family. I'm going to make the sacrifice or letting go of whatever investment I have in this business for your family. But what you have to do in return is, after we do this, everything else we do is supposed to be focused or centered on our nuclear family and the future of our children. Because I won't say give them more money, because if you give them more money, they will keep coming. You can't push them away.
But you see, this is a dicey situation, because no matter how much they give them, they will squander it because they know that you are the bank that keeps on refilling.
AJ, that is why I'm telling you that I'm going to sacrifice this business for you. Put it down in documentation to let you know that I'm sacrificing this for you, and this is to end your struggle. Because I'm sure they are coming back because they don't have any mainstream income, or they don't have anything substantial going on for them.
Or they could have set them up and they destroyed the businesses. That's also a possibility.
That is up to them. But until you set them up and put down, like, have an evidence of what you've done for them, there's nothing you can do. Because as human as we are, no matter how much money you give to people, they will keep saying, oh, you did nothing for me. You did nothing for me. But if there's an institution, there's a business, everybody knows that, oh, I can even go all the way to have a grand opening to say, oh, handing over ceremony, like we do weddings. Everybody should know that, oh, so-and-so family is handing off this business, or with a lawyer present, officially to this extended family. Make it all look glamorous. It's a trap you are setting for them. And let them understand, if they ruin it, it's on them.
But they will come back, because, again, there are siblings that you can never get rid of. But let me come to Rosie on that. Because, oh, I just came to Olivia. Okay.
No problem.
Let me jump to Olivia.
No problem.
Olivia, this situation is quite dicey.
It is. And especially because we don't choose family. We don't decide who our family members are going to be. But this is a clear case of, even if you cut your head and put on a silver platter for these family members, it will make no difference. Honey bunny, you're forever going to be called a witch. Like, I know you're not one, and I know that it bugs you for them to perceive you as such. But look at it this way. At the end of the day, you are in the marriage for a good cause. You're thinking about the future of your kids. You're thinking about the future, how you guys are going to retire. And money, like I always say, is everything. At least, if not 99.9% of every marriage problem, sex and money. Those are the two main things that keep coming up in marriage. So you're not at fault to feel the way that you do. But the thing is, how do you get your husband to wake up and understand that he is not meant to be an infinite ATM machine to his siblings? Because however you want to look at it, from what she's saying, they've been giving one too many opportunities and they keep ruining it. And I'm just wondering, so what kind of empathy does the brother have to the extent of handing over a side business that belongs to you and him to a brother? Is he qualified?
Nope.
Has he gone to school? Does he have any kind of business training? Or
Not
he's
likely.
just fronting the business because it is my brother's business, therefore I am the boss, I call the shots. Meanwhile, there's absolutely no sense in his head to manage the business. Moving forward, how do you solve the situation? This is what I think. ASAP, you guys need a financial advisor. You need to know how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. Sometimes it helps for your husband, it will help for your husband to see the overall picture. You know, sometimes when you feel like money is always coming in and you're always spending, you don't appreciate the extent to which you're spending. Usually financial advisors, and Rosie is going to come in a minute and probably touch on that, but they sort of give you a perspective as to, okay, you're saving this amount of money for the next how many years, different kinds of savings. You need an emergency fund. You need savings for your kids, their college fund, university education, how much is going to go into it. You need a fund whereby maybe you're mortgaging, an investment fund, something that you're not touching over a long period of time, so that when you're retiring good, to the extent that you don't need your children to support you. You are well to do. You can sort out what your burial and everything is going to look like. That's a plan. So businesses, you have businesses all over the place and you've handed them over. So for how much loss have you made? And over the next 10 years, what's the picture actually going to look like? So I think that what you should do is to tactfully, because you can't use, this is dicey. The reason why I'm saying that it's dicey is because this man feels like he's in a position of strength, of wealth. So if he doesn't help his family, then he looks bad. And his mom keeps blackmailing him. So he needs a big slap on his face, not physically, but the reality, the picture needs to be painted to him. And it shouldn't necessarily come from you, because you've been saying all you want all this while and it's not working. Say, honey, you know what? I think that you should come with me. I feel like we need to look at our finances properly, because women, we need assurance, and then there's a word I'm looking for, we need some kind of insurance, like guarantee to know that my future is okay. Security, that's the word I was looking for. So tell him, I'm a bit iffy about the security of our future, financial security of our future. Can you please come with me? We need a financial advisor to help paint the picture clearer to us. Thankfully, hopefully he goes, and then that gets sorted. Secondly, you need a therapist. You need a counselor. You need a counselor to make your husband, tell your husband that it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no to mommy. It's okay to say no to your siblings. And let him understand, because you know, especially because he's coming from a poor background.
Right.
So his mom is
mother was
using
as
blackmail.
well. Yes.
Yeah.
Emotional blackmail.
Emotional blackmail,
cry and
like
then
me breyo, crying,
Yeah.
but it doesn't solve the problem. Sometimes it is okay to say no, and it's okay for him to have that discussion with his mom, especially after he finishes the discussion with the financial advisor, because then they could come to some consensus and say, you know what, based on how your spending pattern, tell your mom, your family members, this is how much I am ready to allocate to you every month. So if it's 1 cedi, because I can't go past 1 cedi, 1 cedi means that I cannot fend for my family as well. I care about you, I love you, but I should
kids.
also be in a position to care for them. Do you see what I mean? So you know that you don't go over the cap. It's a limit. 100 CDs, you know it's not going to hurt you or it's not going to hurt your future financial investments. And then you can take it from there. That's what I think.
Rosie.
Finally, it has dropped. Finally, I wanted to dodge the bullet, but the bullet wasn't dodging.
Yeah.
Charlie, you see, let's take it from various angles. To start with, you see, because, like you rightly said, he's coming from a poor background. This whole blackmail about me, Breye, I suffered to take care of you. I didn't ask to be born.
That's true.
It's your duty to take care of your children. That's a fact. It's only nice that a child will grow up and reciprocate the gesture to their parents. So that gesture be reciprocated to the mother, I don't have a problem with it, but we are all siblings. I did not choose to have siblings. I don't see why I need to be perpetually responsible for my siblings.
Adults, on the other hand.
However, because you're in the same family, you don't want to be looking so good and then your sibling is looking like a riffraff, like, that's Rosie's sister there, that's Rosie's brother there. It doesn't augur well for you. So because of that, you know, if I have any help to give my siblings, I will do it. That being said, you also have a family of your own. You don't want a situation where your children also become like your siblings today. So you need to also set your family up. And gone were the days where, look, you can have 10 children, you don't even have enough money for them, but then one way or the other, they would all survive. They would eat, they would even have the happiest of times. They'll recount how they used to jump walls to a neighbor's house, pluck mangoes, and now houses don't even have mangoes in there again. It's all cement and, you know, tiles and things like that. So even the food, extra food you get from a neighbor's house is not there. Things are becoming bad, especially in a place like Ghana as we speak. School fees is skyrocketing, even your investments that you are making. The question is that the yield on your investment, is it commensurate with your purchasing power tomorrow? You understand? So you need to really sit down and do a financial audit of your family so that you know what you can spend as an extra and what you need to keep as a need, as a necessity, what investments you need to make on behalf of your children, because you might be making the money now. There's no guarantee that both parents are going to be alive even the next year or the next 2 years. So sometimes prudent parents these days are doing a lot of funds and things for their children. Now, that being said, I would like to agree with Felicia on some level that sometimes when you are giving people fish, they don't appreciate it. Teach them how to fish. Or give them the net, give them all the necessary tools. And then when you're able to do that, so for instance, this business that the man gave to him, them like that, it's okay for him to let the mother, the siblings understand that the money that was used to start this business is for my family, my wife and myself. So they know that, okay, my wife is also playing part in your upkeep. You can actually start the business because it's not even easy to run a business in Ghana these days. It's not easy. So to run a business that is quote unquote small but successful, it is still no mean feat.
And for him to squander it.
Look, that is your chance. It's okay. It's not okay to say no. Sometimes you need to say no. It's look. Sometimes we think everything has to be, oh, if you want to say no, you have to gloss over it. You have to say it in a very nice way. Sometimes no is no. You need to be and no, and don't say no and tomorrow, oh dear, you are my brother, so be no. Let them call you a witch. Let them call you a wizard. Listen, some of them are going to use that no as a motivation to success. But if they know that you're always there,
they will never move forward.
They will never move forward because if I had a choice between begging for money and getting it and working for money, what are you talking about?
I'll sit at home and I'll take it.
I'll sit at home, take the money. As I'm sitting here, if I had my own way,
can you imagine?
The things,
baby girl life.
Hey.
Travel tomorrow.
Every quarter, I'm somewhere. Every quarter, I'm on vacation. The first one in Africa. The second one out of Africa. The third one, an attempt to get into space. Or something. Yes, soft life. I mean, if I had my own way, there's so much I'll do for myself. But the fact that I know that I need to work hard for my money, it puts me in check. So your siblings, your parents are not working hard for their money because they see us on ATM. And check this. Sometimes when a family seems, and I'm using this word, seems to have their life together, seems to have their act together, it's interpreted as, oh, they have so much money and they don't even know what to do with it. The fact that I choose to take my child to an expensive school doesn't mean that I have too much money to pay, but I'm investing in the foundation of my children. The fact that I choose a particular hairdo or a particular dress to wear. It's not because I have too much money to spend on an outfit, but it's because when I spend on an outfit, I don't want it to be messed up in the next week. I want an outfit that I can wear for 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and it will still look good. You understand? The fact that I spend so much to acquire some expensive furniture from, Life Mates, it doesn't mean that I'm just throwing money around. It means that I want some good furniture that can be in my home for the next 5 to 10 years. You understand what I'm trying to say? So at the end of the day, people invest in things because of the value it brings to them. But I'm tired of people thinking that because you seem to have it together, it means that you have too much money to throw around. Look, my dear, you have every reason for feeling the way you are feeling because the way the country, the world, in fact, is going, it's not easy.
At all.
If you don't plan very well for your children, if ghosts are real, you'd really be hurt. You'd be a very unhappy ghost seeing how your children are suffering if you don't invest for your children. If your husband is not willing to come along with you to see things through us, because sometimes, because he also was with them when they were poor, and as much as in his mind, he feels like
the mindset.
There's an emotional way, be like, what if it was me? I was the one who was poor and I was asking my other brother, how would I feel? You let me just give it to him. That mindset will still be there. So if he's not willing to go along with you, then this is where I say that drastic times call for drastic measures. You, the wife, do the investments on your own, with or without the man's inputs, agreement, or knowledge. Trust me. Because at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, the man can decide to get up and leave. But I don't know how many women just get up and leave their children behind.
Absolutely.
So try and carry your husband along, but be tactful how you say it. Be tactful how you go about it. Let him know like you say, if you bring a proper financial analyst who put the numbers on paper, because a year's investment delayed, you have no idea how much profit you've lost just in delaying for like a year.
Absolutely.
So when you put everything together, then you can make a more informed decision. But if he's not willing to go with you, my dear, my advice to you is that take the bull by the horn and do your own investments for your family, and you wouldn't regret it.
Now, is the possibility of now hiding money? Because clearly, when you put it all together in a fund, when you invest in a business, the family or your in-laws will find a way of taking it and siphoning it out.
Yeah.
Should she start hiding, quote unquote, money away? Start putting her revenue in a separate account or investment policy where anyone...
But why would the family know how much they have in total?
Because she confides it to her husband. Let's assume she's being truthful or very open with how much she earns, how much they put towards their business, how much they work towards things together. They're building a home together. Now, it seems all these things are being curtailed because he keeps taking money where he's not supposed to and giving it to his family.
And so
you can tell him that I'm opening a separate investment account and I need you to know that I have it available. So make it open. You're not hiding anything. If I had my way, you would find a way to be... If the company is yours, what's the accounts guy doing giving the money to your brother-in-law?
If he's managing it, he becomes a
so
signature.
you need to think a step ahead or find a way to be able to say, because it's yours and it's for your husband. I'm talking about the side business, right? You should find a way of getting access to that money.
Do you
know? I don't think the problem is the access. So listen, I think that they all have what they are doing, but they've opened some small business, be like, just something on the side, and they have both, and they've given that business to the in-laws. But the problem now is that after giving the business to the in-laws, they are running it down. They are running the business down, and it's paining her because it feels like my investment is there. And I'm saying that, look, this is the best thing you could have done. You gave them a whole business. It's like giving them a whole baby. Take care of the baby. They've killed the baby. Okay, go and bury the baby.
How do we stop the in-laws from coming?
Do you think?
Say no.
Do you think?
That's what I'm saying.
No,
that
do you think
he will need psychological help. He will need therapy. You need counseling because it takes a lot. Because it's deep down, and whoever the therapist is needs to go deep down within him to be able to mend the cracks that are there. Because either than that is he will never see past where he's at.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think Felicia's assertion that at this particular point, let's gift the business to them. Let them use it as their way of starting off in life. And if you run it down, then it's on you.
I agree.
I completely agree.
I agree as well.
But won't they keep coming back?
No, because now
You see-
now you've equipped him with what the financial picture looks like. He's gone through therapy.
Right.
You've made him understand that it's okay to say no. You've made him understand ways in which he can also say no, especially to his mom. And now you've actually given him, and you've partnered with him, just like Rosie and Felicia are saying. You partnered with him. The wife's support is obviously in the picture. So husband and wife, people, get this business. Any money you get out of there is yours. If you let it go, you let it go.
And let me tell you, and you'll be surprised that they won't run the business down. Sometimes people want to feel empowered. They want to feel like they have something they live for. I've seen family members feel reluctant helping like other members to do business, but immediately business is turned to them, they turn things around. You will be surprised, because then at that point they feel like, oh, I'm doing this all for my brothers and his wife,
And his wife is going to
they are
enjoy
going
it.
to enjoy it. But immediately they feel like the business is now for us. This is what we live off. When my mom comes, she will come and ask for money at the end of the month. Everybody is coming to me. They will run the business right. I've seen some happen, and it worked out. So
I agree.
Just give
I
it to them.
completely
And,
agree. But
and
the
start-
giving of the money, let's not continue, because you see,
That has to stop.
when family puts you in that box, the Father Christmas box, the ATM machine box, the problem solver box, the sibling who has so much money and doesn't know anything to do with it box, trust me, they keep coming and they keep coming, and their stories, the excuses.
and they begin to feel entitled. Now they will come and they will demand for you to give the money to them. Set them up. If not for that business, set them up with something else. See it through, see them doing it, and let them be. And let them understand that immediately I give this to you, I'm not going to give you a dime. And be firm on that. And that is when therapy comes
So what
in.
about hypothetically, they've done that before? What if they have done that before? They've set them up with businesses and they've run the business down.
Then it's time to cut them off.
I don't think so. What I think you could do is, okay, it's my business. I know the business. I have a dream. I have a vision. I know the objective of this company because it's my vision. So what's your vision? What do you want to do?
What if they have nothing?
Good question. They need to come up with something because you can't keep fucking money out to them. Simple.
Felicia, Olivia.
Setting them up at a what do you call it? A kiosk store, provision store.
it's
I don't know. It has to
amazing.
come from them. That's what I feel.
You see, that question, what do you want to do? You'll be amazed that if
Kind
you
of thing
pick
people will say.
20 or 30 people in this situation, it's only about 2 of them who know exactly what they want to do.
The rest
And
don't.
most of the ones who know exactly what they want to do, their requirements are very minimal. And trust me, they will get it and they will turn it around. But there are ones who come with stories. I want to do this today. I want to do this. I want to do this. Yeah, something small. You know what? That's all I want. You understand? So those people who are in that category, right?
Yeah.
Those people, they would always keep coming. But there are people who come to you with a game plan. That, bro, I have this business I want to do. I need like 3,000 to start it. Now, when the brothers come like that, the sisters come like that, then they are definite about what they want.
But if
They
they
are
come and say,
but when they are just coming for the no coffee,
I want to own a
that
shop.
one,
I want a shop.
I don't know
Selling
what.
what?
And the funny bit is that
Selling something.
when you give the money out, you know the sad truth? The sad truth is that when you give the money out, you see exactly what they're using the money for, and it even breaks your heart the more.
Yes.
New outfits, new shoe,
Yep.
I need to look the part
fast
before I
food,
go.
fast food.
They'll do all the things you
Girls
wouldn't do.
or boys.
And they'll do all the things that you are being prudent not to do in order to
Exactly.
save
They will
money.
chop your money for you.
So, my dear,
That's sad though. Because I was thinking
I think
that
that
if
when
they
it
had
comes,
some kind
when it
of
becomes
input,
critical,
Yeah,
be able to say
perhaps.
you
no.
know, perhaps, you know,
Not-
if
not-
they had,
not
and
always.
especially because they've not been able to manage anything so far, perhaps,
Well,
I don't know, the
be
thing is to
surprised.
set it up and let them.
well, we'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Let us know. Send us a message, #sister, and tell us what your thoughts about this particular one is. If placed in this situation, how would you react? We'll talk about this and a whole lot more right after this. You're tuned in to Sister right here on Citi TV and as well live on 97.3 Citi FM. I'm here with my lovely sisters Felicia, Olivia and Rosie, and we're moving on to the second story. Ladies, be ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now this one says, hello AJ. I'm a very open-minded, loyal, hardworking and respectful young man who is in a beautiful marriage with an amazing woman, my wife. My wife is smart, beautiful, intelligent, gorgeous, and respectful as well. Well, most of the time. Our marriage has been blessed with 2 beautiful children. However, my wife has started putting up a certain behavior that doesn't sit well with me. And I want you and your sisters to help me understand this. The last few weeks has been very uncertain for me as my wife has started spying on me by constantly checking my phone to see who I'm talking to and when. I chanced upon her doing it twice in the past few weeks, and when I confronted her, she said, and I quote, "Men who are real men allow their wives to check their phones if they are not hiding anything." AJ, I'm not hiding anything, but this act of hers always makes me feel vulnerable anytime she collects my phone and starts to scroll through everything, even my call log. I'm not a weak man, but I don't want issues with her, so I allow it. But honestly, I feel disrespected and weak about this whole situation. AJ, is this a woman's thing, or my wife is being too inquisitive and unreasonable? I'm not happy with this at all. Is it okay for my wife to be checking my phone? I want you and sisters to advise me on what to do and how to go about this. Ding, ding, ding. She's disrespectful most of the time. Now on these particular occasions, she's disrespecting him, or he feels, because she's looking through his phone. Is it okay for a woman to go through the man's phone? No?
I honestly don't see anything wrong. If we're able to get naked and sleep on the same bed, what's a phone?
But Felicia, you disagree?
Yeah.
Why?
Whoa.
I never check my boyfriend's phone.
Do you think it's wrong for you to do so?
I don't think there's a need to. It's
Of
not
course,
wrong, but
of
there's
course.
no need to check your boyfriend's
But I'm curious.
phone or your husband's phone.
What if she's curious?
Curious about what?
About
What
who you
are
are
you-
talking to.
So you know what? Whenever you go for looking for things, you find
find
what
it.
you are looking for.
So she wants
And
to
I
find it.
believe in, we usually have insecurity about things we feel like we fall prey to. When you start cheating and doing things, you start to suspect your partner to do the same.
So she's the one doing it.
That is my personal view
Shocker.
on this, because anytime you start looking into these things, it's like, oh, is he doing same? But if you are not doing something and you are innocent about it, you never think the other person is doing, unless they show signs or they give you reasons to believe they are.
Plot
and in this
twist.
case, it doesn't sound like that. Because what are you looking for in the phone? And
I beg to differ.
Some parts
We hardly agree, but this one here.
So, I don't see the need, right, to go snooping around your husband's phone. If everything is fine and everything is okay, everything is rosy, there's no need. I don't do that. I don't wake up in the morning and my whole agenda is snooping. However, there are times, instances, cases, scenarios, crime scenes
That you must investigate.
that must be investigated.
Suspicion.
And you know something? Okay, let me say something. Let me get serious. Okay, right now, you see, it's 2 things.
Yeah.
Your hypothesis, I won't rule it out. It could
Okay.
be possible.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like some 10% or some 12%. Okay. Now, there are also the percentage that maybe they've been hanging around women who are having all manner of stories about, hey, the way I thought my husband was an angel, and one day I saw this, one day. It's kind of like, she wants to see that and prove to herself, look, my impression of my husband being a good man is what it is.
Yeah.
There's also this one that, because it's the man who sent in the message. You see, men, let me tell you something. When a man wants to cheat, they think they're covering their back. But trust me, their back is so exposed.
That's true.
And women are able to take hints from very little things. I don't want to say some. Okay, but my husband hasn't fallen in the casket, so let me just go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Maybe, for instance, usually when he comes home, he doesn't even want to take his bath and put. All of a sudden, when he comes home, quickly, he's in the shower. He's taking a shower.
Okay, baby.
Then he's trying to form like, oh, I'm trying to be Madam Mr. Neat, Mr. Neat. But he's trying to clean off evidence. Why are you in a hurry? You understand? Or maybe you want to do some oral kikiromi. And then he goes like, oh, no, I'm not tired. Let me bath first. I mean, please, am I complaining?
Yeah,
So because somebody's this thing has been there, you don't want to contaminate the thing with your wife's this thing. So you want to polish it so the things don't mix out of quote unquote respect for your wife. Look, let me be very frank. I'm saying that, look, there are some things that you see when men are doing suddenly, or maybe all of a sudden, before when your phone is there, you just leave it there. All of a sudden, you are so protected when you're sleeping because the phone is under your pillow. You know, when you are going to bath, the phone is, then there are so many actions, and sometimes they don't see themselves doing it. But if you're a woman and you're very assertive, you watch like, this guy, why? All of a sudden, he's been like this, he's been like that. Or maybe, I want your phone for something, and he's standing there, waiting for you to see what you are doing on the phone. When he finishes, he collects it. Why are you standing there? You understand? That's something that there are certain attitudes that before wasn't there. You may think that you haven't changed. You may think that you're not doing anything different. Maybe you have not cheated on your wife, but maybe you are flirting with somebody in the office. It's probably a harmless flirt, and you wouldn't want your wife to see it, and that's why you are worried and you are doing certain things. So because of that, your wife is also getting the hint. So there are several reasons why a normal woman who never checks your phone, that is different from that woman that as soon as she starts dating you, every week is like routine. Every Monday morning, let me pick his phone, let me check who has he spoken to, his caller, which one has he deleted. No, not that kind of a woman. I'm a woman who never did that before and suddenly is doing it. It could be because maybe she's a housewife, the children are grown, she's bored, she has too much time on her hands. She wants to do that. That's one. Two, she's listening to all kinds of stories and she's watching all kinds of plays and she's getting ideas into her head. Two or three, she has actually seen certain things, patterns, signs that is giving her that feeling like something could be happening.
Or four, she's doing it herself.
Or four, she's doing it herself, and she wants to convince herself that her husband is not doing same, so that she can feel guilty to stop. Or if her husband is doing same, then she can feel okay to say, okay, me cry, I don't do one. You understand? Yeah. But whatever it is, I don't think that women just get up and check men's phones if there's no real reason to. But my question is that, especially if it's your boyfriend or his husband, once you get to that point where you have to be checking, then Charlie, slow down.
I've learned a new word, by the way, oral kikiromi. I still can't get over it. But let me come to Olivia and I'll come to you, Felicia.
So, my thing is, if you are in a marriage and, like I said in the beginning, and you can't easily casually pick your husband's phone, not that you're snooping around or anything and he has a problem on it. Your password is your mother's, grandmother's, sister's, uncle's date of birth and some code and some something. Nobody has access to your phone. Then there's a big problem because as far as I'm concerned, the phone is just supposed to be a tool for communication in the family. So maybe you use it's a tool for communication in and out, for work, for home. It's just a tool. So if you start, and for me, he said something that is making me wonder, why should your wife, I can understand that maybe she's aggressive, but I don't see how it should make you feel weak. Because he mentioned something about feeling all weak and you know, so that's sort of affecting him. But if you have at the back of your mind that you have nothing to hide, if I were you, I'll just ignore her because it's a phase, it will pass. Like Rosie was saying, maybe she's heard something or maybe something has been triggered from the past, her past experience. Maybe somebody cheated on her, so she's like, oh, so far you've been so good, this is too good to be true. Hey, maybe you have changed, but I don't know. So let me just check on and make sure that I'm not being a fool in this marriage. So many things could lead to it. If I were you, I'll just take it as just a phase. It will pass, or just accept it for what it is. At the end of the day, you have nothing to hide.
Right.
It's there. Don't even notice it. It will surprise you that when you leave your phone and she takes it and you don't comment, she's like, there's no resistance. There's no, she's like, the more you're fighting with you, what are you hiding? What's your problem? It's like, you're rather stirring up the situation and making it worse. So ignore her. If you know you have nothing to hide, if you have something to hide, start confessing that areas. Sister Mansa at work has been saying that she likes my moves, she likes me or something, so that she would know, and probably also stop having all sorts of conversations with other people that would stir up unnecessary arguments in your matrimonial home. But by all means, I feel like it's okay for partners, especially married couples, to be able to take a phone and your partner's phone and be able to go through it, like you casually, not that you're actually snooping. If you want to snoop, okay, once in a while you say, hey, who is he talking to? Once in a while. Or if you just want to be able to say, oh, I need to call somebody, or I need to Facebook, my phone is off, Facebook is off, I'm bored, or Instagram, I'm bored. I should be able to take my
looking at my phone.
Because
it's
I'm
a question.
home. No. Because I'm home. Don't you ever get bored? Like you're home, you're finished eating. No. My phone is low battery.
I can afford to stare at my husband.
Yeah.
Why can't I stare at your phone?
Your phone.
Why are you reading messages?
Please.
So I'm sitting down and
I wouldn't do it. You see, I don't do it because, you see, to be honest with you, I don't want to see something like,
you don't exactly. Why would you give yourself unnecessary high blood pressure?
It's not a matter. Honestly, I just think that for whatever reason it is that I choose to take my husband's phone, I don't need an explanation to take his phone.
yes.
Yes.
End of.
That's interesting.
There should be no
End of.
explanation. It's true.
I thought could cross my mind. I could go through and not see anything. I won't be bothered. And my husband too is not bothered. And my phone is there. Even that's what I was saying the last time, that we send ourselves steamy text messages and we are scared because like, yo, Charlie, delete them because kids I will see, Zephaniah will see, so you have to delete. And my kids, they have such sharp eyes. You can text something, by the time you realize they're done reading, just like that. So quickly delete it, because everybody has, the phone is just lying anywhere in the house. Like when my phone, I've got a low battery, I can take my husband, and surprisingly, my husband is not on any social media accounts, and I have my social media.
He's a smart man.
I have my, I think that he's just not bothered in that, like he has other interests. So he's got, and he actually doesn't have any social media account, and he's constantly on my social media account. So when my phone goes off, I easily pick his and go through, and when he's bored, he goes through my social media. Like, you know, some people are very, very protective. Even their social media accounts, they don't want you to see who is DMing who and who is doing. We just don't care.
I can testify to that when it comes to Olivia. Charlie, when I was looking for Charlie, my phone is off, so I had to take my husband's phone to go and pick the camera. Hey, he gave the phone to you for like 5 hours to go and come back. I'm like, okay.
He did.
I love it.
But he did.
I can't do it, but I love it.
It's okay for that to happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of women these days feel entitled to their husband's phone.
No,
and
listen.
it's become like a thing
there's
where
nothing wrong with being
entitled. Thank you.
Listen, my thing is,
Thank you,
listen.
Rosie.
I will not condone women
the aggression
going to
that
check
comes with it,
the
like,
phone because listen. You have different kinds of men. We all have different kinds of partners. They have certain tendencies and that. You knew some of them before you got married to them.
Yeah.
And the question is that, listen, are you ready for what you are going to see? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Is it prudent to be checking your husband's phone? No. Me, I won't go and do it. It's not prudent. If I do, it's
you are
because
on suspicion.
in fact, my 2 legs are on something.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm hoping it's not true. That's why I've gone to check. And if I check, whatever I'm looking for, I will find it. And I even know what I'm looking for if I even find it. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
However, you can't tell me that I am not entitled to it. It's like me having a property of mine. Hold on. If I have land and we got married together, are you entitled to that property? If me, myself, my body.
Thank you.
I was born by my mother, named by my mother, with my father's surname, Kokume slapped on his bum. Now that you have come to change
Stamp
it
with your
and
name.
made me now a daughter of Accra, you've moved me from Water Region to Accra. Are you entitled to me or not?
Every
The
bit
fact that
of
you
you.
are entitled to every bit of me. If that bit of me comes with my phone, you're entitled to it. But you see, the question is that, are you allowed, is it prudent, even though you're entitled to me, is it prudent to misuse me, to always be around me, checking on me, where are you going, where are you taking? No, it's not prudent.
Exactly.
But that word, of course you're entitled to it. You have every right to have access to that thing. Because listen, sometimes the phones have, not even for relationship issues, but serious financial things, like maybe people who owe you, people who do things. Look, in a case where you are past and gone, there's so much information on the phone that your spouse can use to follow up certain deals, to follow up certain things. I don't know how 2 people can say they are married and they are not open about certain things. You should be open to a certain level. However, both of you should recognize that you're in a marriage. If both of you respect each other in a marriage, know that you're in a marriage and open to each other, listen, that need to check will not even come up. However, are you entitled to? Yes. Do you have a right to the phone? Yes. If my husband picked my phone today and saw something in it, the argument will not be, why did you pick my phone? I should be busy defending what he saw that he didn't like. The same way, if I pick my husband's phone and I saw something I didn't like, he can't ask me, why did you pick my phone? He will ask me, he will not have to defend what I saw that he didn't like. The entitlement, I'm entitled. But however, as a woman, look, if you don't have the heart to say, don't even try. You understand? And sometimes the mental torture it gives you, after you've seen it, then you're now building extra castles that were not even there. The probabilities, assumptions, permutation and things is too much.
But Rosie,
so I'm entitled.
Does the entitlement only come or is in place when you're married? Are you entitled to your partner's phone when you're dating?
Yeah.
Married, most definitely yes. When you are dating, that is the source. That is where you align. Look, see, dating is a phase that should lead to marriage. Why people think that dating should be different from marriage, I don't understand. So when you are dating, you don't have entitlements, but these are things you need to discuss so that when it happens in marriage, it doesn't become a strange thing that just happens. Because people date, they are happy, they're excited, they get married, and they become boring people because all of a sudden they're not doing certain things and Charlie.
And then they start asking questions like, oh, when we're dating, you didn't used to ask me for my phone, so why are you not asking me for my phone?
Which could be an interesting scenario going here.
Exactly.
Because
But when we're dating, you were not doing anything.
So now that you're married, it's like, what's the big deal? So it's
lesson learned, but I like Rosie said, I don't see the need to be going.
Now let's bring it back home to this gentleman.
I don't.
He is uncomfortable. He feels disrespected with the rate at which she randomly grabs, scrolls through, and checks in on everyone he's spoken to or called in the day of. How does he deal with it, in your opinion?
At the end of the day, every relationship, it needs to be based on respect, love, mutual understanding, communication, yada, 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 yada. So the foundation of the relationship needs to be respect. If I respect you and love you, I wouldn't go out there and do what I'm not supposed to do. Therefore, I wouldn't have to go through the trouble of hiding stuff that I've done. Therein also lies the fact that, yes, as much as I'm entitled to your phone, I need to respect you enough to be able to say, oh, babe, you know, maybe I need your phone for this. It's all about tact, and it's all about treating people with respect. Because if you love and respect somebody, you wouldn't want to treat them in a way that they don't want to, you don't want to be treated. So, like I said, I feel like this woman is in a certain phase. There's so many unanswered questions here. Why she's now feeling like that? She probably watched the play, you know, like all the things that we mentioned in earlier. But the best way, I think, is to ignore her. Honestly, that's what I think. I feel like, because you're mentioning it, and the more you mention it, it's like, okay, you're hiding something. So change the strategy. Try ignoring her, not noticing when she takes your phone. Let your phone not be an issue. It shouldn't, of all the beautiful things you could be doing, you could be having a nice shot. You could be doing like round 2,
You shouldn't
round
put a
3.
password on his phone to prevent her from going through it.
No, you definitely should not put a password. Like Rosie, like you should crack it. Like Rosie was saying. So true. Like Rosie was saying the last time, the car broke down. I had to go pick the kids from school. I had a low battery. Bam, my husband gave me his phone. Or touch wood, an accident could happen, and then immediately it's like, okay, we need to access some money. Okay, I don't have, but my husband has details on his account. How do you, like, a phone should be a helping tool at home. That's all that it is. If you make it anything else than it is, do you know what? I actually know people. People, sisters,
who have different
phones, and it's in the car.
Stop it.
I saw it. I was like,
no. They have different. That phone is constantly under the driver's seat. Nobody sees it.
You know where it is, Rosie. Rosie knows where it is. Under the driver's seat.
So they go inside and go and take it.
That one has a different number. So when they're in the car, they charge it. When they come home, that one is for the side gig.
That one even goes off sometimes.
And it's all in the car.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying with a straight face, because it is a true.
It's true.
It is a true.
For Rosie to confirm, it's true.
It is a true.
Because I saw my uncle do it. So I was like, yo.
They will have a different SIM card. That does different
SIM card for different.
Yes, different clients for different clients.
For different clients, it's crazy.
But the good thing is that she even checks the phone in his presence. So you see, it's not a big deal like that.
Exactly.
Felicia, what do you think he should be doing?
As my sisters were saying, he just has to let this slide. It's just a phase. I'm sure she's heard saying, I'm not a stickler for, going through people's phones. I don't have much to say about this.
Honestly?
Honestly, I need to be very honest about it, because growing up, I came to the realization that I choose my peace of mind.
Yeah.
And in any situation, I don't pick my sister's phone.
Me neither.
She doesn't pick my phone. I've never picked my boyfriend's phone. Even though he's always hiding it under his pillow, I try to make stories for myself. Maybe he's hiding his bank account, whatever it is. I don't care.
Yeah.
I try not to care, and I just do my part. And So I can't say much about this. I'll just go with my sisters on this.
And on that note, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. Always a pleasure. Time flies when you're having fun, man. Honestly. But it's always a pleasure having you ladies on to give the most sound advice. And we love to hear it. Of course, always incredible Felicia, the ever lovely Olivia, and the ever feisty and hot and Sazy Rosie. Come on, give them. Back to back. And thank you for being tuned in. And as always, I'm going to end it with my final thoughts. And to my final thoughts, to our very first story, our lady who's faced with a dilemma where the in-laws are definitely munching off your goodwill and your husband's benevolence. I do agree with my sisters that you need to take a stance, perhaps giving them a seed capital or the business perhaps to officially cut them off might be a way to go. But definitely you do need some financial advice to show your husband the true situation and the true scenario that you may be in if he continues putting all your investments away towards his family as against keeping it for your small family. So please make it a point to get a counselor, definitely get a financial advisor, and perhaps think of ways in which you can give a final quote-unquote offering to your family members, your in-laws, so that this will be a way of them starting off their life and completely and finally getting away from yours. And after that point, when your no comes, your no truly should mean no. And at no point in time should you bend, sway, or be tempted to move money meant for your future to give to your in-laws. Because honestly, who would rather work when you can get free money? And that's exactly how your in-laws feel. Now, to our second and final story about our gentleman, whose face where his lady is consistently snooping on his phone. Me, I don't think you should go snooping because honestly, you will find what you are looking for. But I do agree, my sisters, where in this particular situation where you're both married, there might be, or there is some entitlement to each other's bodies, phones, and personal properties. So you've made your bed and you should truly lie in it. And if she is just doing it to maybe alleviate her own fears, then give her a reason why she shouldn't suspect you, or reason why she shouldn't be obsessed with going through to see what you've been up to. Reassure her that truly she is the only one in your life, and you love her, you respect her, and you're willing to forsake all others, and you have to stick to her. So maybe reassuring her a bit more about your love, your fidelity, and your appreciation of her might allay all those fears and perhaps lead her to put the phone away and focus only on your beautiful face. And I hope you two are able to work out this difficult bump and able to move on in your happy story as a wonderful married couple. I wish you luck on this interesting journey you're on with your woman. But finally, thank you for being tuned in to another exciting edition of Sisters. It's always a pleasure bringing it to you every Thursday on Citi FM and of course Friday at 9 p.m. right here on Citi TV, inviting you to join me next week for another exciting edition. Of course, a very big thank you to LifeMate for being our host and allowing us come live from their premises every week. We really appreciate you. Find them in North Industrial Area. Come through for all your wonderful furniture because they truly make your space, your home, your office look absolutely unique. And of course, a very big thank you to our incredible sponsors, Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, makes your meals delicious. Of course, to Kel Kids toothpaste, and get your Kel Chakwa as well too for the adults. But use the kids, and then trust me, your kids will have pearly whites all throughout. And of course, to the Ghana AIDS Commission Red Ribbon Campaign, we appreciate you coming on board and always appreciate your help in bringing our episodes straight to our viewers and our listeners live on Citi FM and Citi TV. My name is AJ Akwakosapon. Find me on social media at AJ7. Of course, if you have a story that you want to send to us, send it to us at sisterislive@gmail.com, and your story might be discussed next week. Until I come your way again, keep watching Citi TV and keep listening to Citi FM.